Hey now, welcome to the Deadology Podcast from Pencil Hill Studio, New Paltz, New York. I'm your host, Howard Weiner, and today is February 27th, 2024. This is Season 2, Episode 9, and today we'll be taking a look at the Jerry Garcia Band's summer tour from 1984 with a special focus on the Caldwell College show, August 11th. This is the final podcast of February, a month that featured Jerry's solo work, Away from the Dead. This has been Jerry Garcia Band month. It's been a treat to do it. And next week we're going to do more Garcia Band as the year goes, but February was a total Jerry Garcia Band focused. Next week we're going to go back to the Grateful Dead in a big way. We're going to go to our first look at a Europe 72 show here on the podcast. I invited Doug Schmel back. In fact, I did the interview with him today. The show will be about the right in the middle of Europe 72. What I feel is the best show of that tour, and arguably the best show the Grateful Dead ever did. May 7th, 1972. At the Bickershaw Festival in Wigan, England. So today we're going to take a deep dive into that unforgettable performance in Caldwell College. And unfortunately, a whacked out fan took a dive into the drum kit, completely killing the momentum of a great night that was going to be an all-time great show. But still a killer first set that night in Caldwell. But let me set up the stage, the road to Caldwell, where the tour started, where I joined the tour, what I saw before, and then we'll jump into Caldwell. My first show on this tour was Manford Music Center in Philadelphia. A good show. First time I saw her, Get Out of My Life Woman and Look Like a Road. Get Out of My Life Woman was a new song, a cover that Jerry brought in 1984, and Like a Road is obviously from the Keystone days back 73, 74. They stopped playing it for 7 years, did it a couple times in 81, stopped playing it again, and then they brought it back here in 1984, and both those songs, Get Out of My Life Woman and Like a Road, stayed with the Jerry Garcia Band through the years, once they brought it back in 1984. Both great additions, especially Like a Road, that Albert King song, So Jerry. So that was cool, catching a couple new numbers that night. Then I wasn't at this show. They played Washington, D.C. It looks like a great show on paper. That's my next project. I got to listen to that, see how good it is, and if it's really good, I'm going to probably do a podcast on that, because the set list looked great. There's a She Belongs to Me. I couldn't believe I saw that in the set list. I don't know how I missed that, but definitely I'm going to have to download that Washington, D.C. show from August 8th. And then the next show was Rocky Glen Amusement Park in Music, Pennsylvania. And I went with my friend Perry to that show. It was such a memorable night. We met up with his brother, a guy named Johnny Bell, having a great time, running around the place, drinking beer, big tent. I don't remember too much about the amusement park. It doesn't exist anymore. I wish I remembered a little more. There's actually some cool videos online that I've seen that show where the amusement park used to be. One day I'll make a trip back there, see if it rings any bells, man. But it was such a great little place to see Jerry. But for me, it was a very good show, great song selection. The most memorable part of that night was the show was over, and me and Perry made our way to the front of the stage. We were pretty close all night, but we were right where Jerry was coming back onto the stage. and it was such a euphoric scene. Like I never heard anything like this before. The entire crowd, everybody was clapping their hands and chanting "Jerry, Jerry." Usually didn't hear that like at the Dead or a Garcia band show. It was kind of funny, but the crowd was insane that night, and it worked because he came back for an encore, and the encore was Tangled Up in Blue. So yeah, everybody went home happy, and I'm sure Jerry was pleased with the over enthusiastic crew in Music, Pennsylvania that night. So we move on. Next day, Caldwell College, and I'll never forget one of the great experiences of music in my life, that first set in Caldwell. I went to the show by myself. Perry was in a band called the Lost Boys, and they were playing that night. So I was doing a doubleheader. I was going right from the Garcia band show to see him in Nyack. Might have been a place called the Gazebo, if I remember correctly. But yeah, a lot of fun to see. Obviously, Garcia band's the main attraction. Then go see your friends play in they were basically a Dead cover band. You know, they probably did about 60% Dead, 40% other stuff in their own unique style of doing it. But what a great night that was. So it's a hot night. We're in this place, Caldwell College, an outdoor venue. Why this college? You know, obviously, they want to make money, but I never heard of it having concerts before. But they set up a stage. I'm on a hill. Sounds great. Hot night, but it's not too important because you're outside. You're not in an indoor place, which would affect Jerry in the upcoming shows. And one other thing, going back to that Music Pennsylvania show, when we saw Jerry walk onto that stage, we were very close to him. He was freaking enormous. Jerry is, out of all the years, this time in 1984 is definitely when he weighed the most. You know, he's looking unhealthy, but playing like a motherfucker. Just incredible. It was that's why people had like this, they called him God, and just, it was like there was such reverence. How could someone that unhealthy looking be so great? It was a freak thing, So, but that was, I'll never forget that when Jerry came back onto that stage, they were chanting Jerry, and we were so close to him as he walked back on in Pennsylvania the night before. But it comes out, the band that night, almost the same as 1983, as I talked about in the last Roseland show. You got Khan on bass, obviously, Seals. You got David Kemper instead of Gregorico on drums. Jacqueline LeBranch and Dee Dee Dickerson on the background vocals. Killer band. So they kicked the night off with Cats Under the Stars, and Cats Under the Stars was pretty much, they brought back a lot of those songs in 1983, and Cats reached maturity here in 1984. These 84 versions are definitely a little longer than the ones they played in 83. And Jerry just opened up a can of whoop ass on Caldwell right away. This is the hottest Cats Under the Stars I've ever heard. And I've discussed this with a few people. They mentioned a few other from this tour, which they're probably as hot. But this is my favorite Cats. And what a great way. The perfect show opener, as definitely up there, as good as any Dead opener. Just a perfect way. Cats Under the Stars tonight. You're outdoors. You're seeing the Jerry Garcia band in their prime. So let's give it a listen. Cats Under the Stars from Caldwell. Knock in the brass tacks, cover up your tracks, Jack. Cats under the stars tonight. Awesome way to start off the evening in Caldwell, and just the way Jerry covers the entire guitar, the low notes, the high notes, just working over the fretboard there, and just beautiful stuff. So we got Cat's opener. They keep the upbeat flow going. Song number 2, They Love Each Other. And these versions with Melvin on organ just make such a difference. There's such an upbeat feel to these versions. The Grateful Dead versions were awesome in their own right, but there's a little something extra with these Jerry Garcia band versions, especially from this period. And I talked about how I thought the Roseland, First Night at the Roseland 53183 might be the best Love Each Other, with the second night like right up there. This Caldwell one is kind of right up there with the Roseland ones, and just awesome playing from Jerry. It's like such an upbeat. Like the 1973 Grateful Dead ones were very upbeat, and they're kind of like in their own category. But these Garcia band ones from this era are, from moving forward from that point, are definitely the most upbeat versions. And I didn't play the Love Each Other in the last podcast, so this first set is so great. We're definitely going to do a lot of audio highlights. So here's the Love Each Other jam from Caldwell, August 11th, 1984. Jerry Garcia, inspired and obviously in a great mood. You could hear it in his playing in Caldwell College. And I'm going to ask something I don't know what the answer is, but what was it about Caldwell College? Why did the Garcia band play there, and why was Jerry in such a great mood? playing like this. Other awesome shows like the Roseland. He's in a historic ballroom in New York City, Music Mountain. He's playing the old Avon Lodge, the Borscht Belt, and the Catskills, all that history and the ghosts of Sullivan County. But here he's in Caldwell College, and as inspired as can be, just on fire right from the start this night. So I'm out there on the hill, the sun's setting, and this is just unbelievable. I'm like so like enthralled with the show all the way through. Every version is insane here. So we got song 3. Jerry's going to take it down a notch, but not really. Simple Twist of Fate tends to be like that slow ballad of, hey, if you need to get another beer, go to the bathroom. As good as it is, definitely it's a long ballad. But on this night, the band and Jerry were just so committed to the song. His guitar like tingled to the bone to take the Dylan lyric. His guitar playing was that sharp, and his singing so soulful during it. And it's actually a pretty tight version for Simple Twist of Fate. And once again, this singing at the end here by Jerry, not only is it the great playing on this night, which we've heard so far, his singing is off the charts. So it's 1984. His voice is definitely a little shredded. It's not going to go down as one of his greatest years. And maybe it's the bittersweet quality of when he really hit his stride with singing in '84 that makes it so impressive to me. Because he's on this version here, you'll hear this. It's all heart and soul. His voice may not be there, but somehow he punches through, and it's even sweeter than when his voice was like better when it was younger. This is such a great twist of fate. And he rips into the jam afterwards, but there's nothing like this. This is my favorite twist of fate. Really, really hits hard, man. It's just so beautiful what Jerry does here. Check it out.
Here's the ticking of the clock. It goes alone with a bird that talks. Goes down to the waterfront docks. The sailors all coming in. Maybe she'll pick him out again. How long must he wait? One more time for him. Simple twist of fate. People tell me it's a sin to know and feel too much with him. All I know, she was my twin, but I lost the ring. She was born in spring, and I was born too late. Blame it on that simple twist of fate. Blame it on that simple twist of fate. Blame it on that simple twist of fate.
Jerry Garcia Band bringing true religion to Caldwell College a Catholic college. Now it's a university. And Simple Twist of Fate, Bob Dylan, man. No wonder Dylan loved Jerry and the way he covered his tunes, man. You could just hear Jerry bringing everything into that, man. Incredible. Great version. And they jump into Run for the Roses right after that. And yeah, that was pretty much, the Garcia band didn't have a lot of cookie cutter songs, but this definitely was kind of came off the same every time. Great song, great lyrics from Robert Hunter, but not something you would jump for joy at the show. But on this night, it sounded so good coming after that Simple Twist of Fate. This is an awesome version of Run for the Roses. One of those nights, anything they were playing, it was filled with magic. And then Run for the Roses. Jerry just took the place by storm right here. It goes into Dear Prudence. And this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. I'm like, my God, Dear Prudence, fifth song in the first set. But we don't know it's going to be a two-set show yet. But usually Dear Prudence won't show up that early in a show. But Garcia's just bringing it, singing with everything he could muster on this night. And it's a very hot jam, a good length, but probably a lot of the 83 versions got it beat by a little bit. He was doing a better Prudence back in 83, Jerry. That was probably the high point of Dear Prudence. But there's a point in this Prudence, obviously, towards the end of the jam, where the speed of his playing is just ridiculous. And just to get, anytime you see Dear Prudence at the Garcia band shows, it was such a great thrill. That was definitely, if there was a most popular Jerry tune, I think most people probably would have voted Dear Prudence if they didn't go with like a dead number like Sugaree. But Prudence delivered the goods. The Garcia band delivered the goods every time on that. Caldwell College is no exception on this night. Great version. And then it's just incredible that they went into Rhapsody in Red after Dear Prudence. Like, I'm out in that audience. I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is the first set. And they're coming out with like these show-stopping tunes, and just a nonstop barrage of great playing. And I'm going to play you once again this Rhapsody in Red, just to hear the thrill in Jerry's voice. At this point, they brought back Rhapsody in Red in '83. They weren't playing it as much at this point, and eventually, unfortunately, they dropped it. Man, it's such a great tune. I think the last time they played it was like 1985, but it took a lot of effort, man, a lot of quick picking guitar. So not surprising that it wasn't one of the songs after Jerry's coma that they didn't bring back. But for me, this is like the glory day of Jerry Garcia band, just hearing a hot Rhapsody in Red. And if what I've played so far hasn't convinced you that Jerry was in the best of moods and on fire this night, this jam and the ensuing singing by Jerry on this Rhapsody in Red is to die for. So once again, enjoy some Caldwell College from August 11th, 1984. Let me hear that Rhapsody in Red. Man, Garcia, what a distinctive artist. Just who sings like that? Who plays guitar like that? Jerry just definitely got into this unique stylings of, nobody else went into that kind of territory singing or playing. Just, so Jerry, man. It was such a great night. And, I'm on top of it. They end the set with Rhapsody in Red. I'm dreaming of what's going to happen this second set. I'm seeing my friends later. They're playing. I can't wait to tell them that I just saw the greatest show ever. And then it all came apart. I could put away my pom-poms because there's not much to savor from the second set. This took a complete nosedive. And one of the things, if you talk to people who are at the show or you mention Caldwell, the first thing they're going to tell you about is the guy who ran into the drums. And unfortunately, the first set might almost be overshadowed by that stupid event. But actually, so the second set's coming around. I'm pretty excited. They open up Mission in the Rain, one of the great Jerry Garcia band songs. Great lyrics from Hunter on the Reflection album. Beautiful versions from 1978. 1981 was the apex of Mission in the Rain. I mean, Jerry just sang it so well, and the guitar solos were so long and so passionate. And then they kind of eased up a little bit in 82, 83, but I mean, it's still great seeing them. On this night, it was the wrong song to start the second set in Caldwell. Jerry's voice needed some warming up. My voice needs some warming up. I'm suffering from a little bit of a cold here. But, it was obvious he didn't have the strength, and his voice wasn't 100% on, even though he was singing through it. Probably needed an easier song, like the second song, Get Out of My Life, Woman. That would have been like the perfect song to start the set off with. So when you sing Mission in the Rain, you're out there naked, and if your voice isn't right on, so it's not a great vocal performance from Jerry. He didn't have it in his voice, and the guitar jams aren't that long. It's really not that hot, So Mission in the Rain, great song, but Hope's Still Alive. It's the first song, so we're gonna get everything together. Here comes song 2, Get Out of My Life, Woman. And this tune I actually grew to enjoy much more as the years went on. But the only problem I had with it right away is it sounded like That's What Love Will Make You Do. When they first kick into the song, it sounds like That's What Love Will Make You Do. And then when I realize it's Get Out of My Life, Woman, there's a little bit of disappointment because That's What Love Will Make You Do is like almost gold standard, a very desirable Jerry tune. So they're doing they break into Get Out of My Life, Woman. And it's actually a good version. Jerry's picking up the mojo again. The band's hitting it. Everything's sounding good. It sounds like the show's going to rebound. We might get it tangled up. Might get a hot deal. Everything's up for grabs. There might be a sugary encore. You're just feeling the show coming back. And then right in the middle of this tune, a guy gets up and just darts onto the stage and right into the drums. I remember seeing it. It's hard to recapture that in my mind exactly what happened. But this guy just jumped up on the stage and not walking around stage, just ran straight into the drums. Yeah, obviously, hopefully for his sake, he was on something because it was just such a crazy act. Maybe he was upset because it wasn't That's What Love Will Make You Do. But I doubt that. It was probably something more psychotic to do with a drug episode. But it killed the buzz in the place, man. Just like killed my buzz, killed Jerry's. Just like the whole nature of the evening changed with that. Now, it was pretty incredible on stage that if you listen to this performance and you're not listening closely, you might not even notice it because Jerry and Con and Melvin, they just played on, man. Somehow they withstood the shock of seeing that. I guess Steve Parrish must have ran up there, got him off stage, and hopefully tossed him a little bit of a knocked him down a couple times. It was the most ridiculous. It was like he attacked the drums and the drummer. It was the most bizarre thing. But they got the drums settled back pretty quickly. They were able to carry on, finish "Get Out of My Life, Woman," and the next song, "Like a Road." Jerry's definitely slowing it down at this point, man. He's like trying to figure out just like the craziness of that, man. Just the Grateful Dead. As much drugs, as much craziness that went on in the scene, there was total respect for the musicians on stage, and occurrences like this were extremely rare. Other bands, you see that these kind of things with onstage things, they happen. I wouldn't say regularly, but much more often than they did at Grateful Dead shows. There was like that beautiful fans knew not to cross that line to go on the stage and do something stupid like that. But the line was crossed on this night, and it just killed any possibility that the show would be saved. So Jerry's doing this great ballad, "Like a Road." It's a pretty good version, but you could just tell he wants to get like a road leading home. He wanted to get the hell out of here, man. Caldwell College wasn't home anymore, man. Get me the hell out of here. Turn around. I'll be there, but I'm not going to be here in Caldwell College anymore. The whole energy of the place just was zapped. And but it's actually a decent version of "Like a Road." And then just to accentuate that he wanted to get the hell out of there, just a quick "Midnight Moonlight." Let's get the hell out of here. No encore. "Midnight Moonlight" usually is a celebratory song, but everybody out there knows this is it, man. There was no reason. The first time you see "Midnight Moonlight," no reason to celebrate and go skipping and dancing around. Everybody was just stunned, like hey, this is how this great night's going to end because of this idiot who ran into the drums. There was no show from this tour. When I looked at the set lists, I don't think there was one where it was only 4 songs in the second set, no encore. So this was definitely let's like get the hell out of here, type of thing. And who could blame them? That's that's a type of stupidity that will ruin a show, and you almost can't overcome it. So that was it, man. Just "Mission in the Rain," "Get Out of My Life, Woman," "Like a Road," "Midnight Moonlight." But so the next day I went to my friend Doug's house. I had to get the tape because that first set was so great, and you always take away the positives from it. Listen to that first set so much, just a great music. If you want, obviously you can find this stuff on YouTube, but on my Positively Garcia YouTube page, I downloaded the Cats. I think I have the Cats on there, the Love Each Other, the Twist of Fate, everything but the Run for the Roses I have on the Positively Garcia page. You can look it up there. And the beautiful thing, the tour moved forward, and some very great shows coming up. I didn't go to the ones. It was a place called Club Casino in New Hampshire, and people who went there raved about these shows. I've heard the tapes. There's a Sugaree that's like might be the longest one ever. It's like 20 minutes or something. I think Garcia even got confused and played like 4 solos. That's the type of confusion you love. So a couple of good shows in New Hampshire. Then I picked up the tour again in August 14th, Orange Community College. I went at the time. I was going to Rockland Community College, which was the next New York State community college down the road. So it was probably about a half hour from where this was held, and this was just one of these another crazy hot nights. But this is in a little field house, and how Jerry, at his weight and his health, made it through this show and the next show, which I'm going to talk about. It's ridiculous. He went in there and just gave it his all. Went home, went to bed. God, the next day played. These are shows that would test an athlete just hanging out at the show. It was like 95 degrees out, no AC, in a field house, and but Jerry delivered. There's an awesome "That's All Right, Mama" from that show, which I remember probably more than anything else from that night. And the other insane thing, I'm going to put this. By the way, we have a Deadology Facebook group page. Feel free to join. Post anything if you have any memories, any ticket stubs from these shows. I have the ticket stub from this Orange Community College show from August 15th, 84. And it says tonight at OCC, Jerry Garcia, spelled Gerry. Not even the Jerry Garcia band, but Jerry, Gerry. And these tickets were printed by the Student Activities Committee. So I guess that I don't know what it says about education at Orange Community College, but it wasn't very strong in '84. They misspelled Jerry Garcia. I'm going to print a ticket on the Deadology page. It's an incredible one of my favorite souvenir tickets from the years. But great show, and that's really all that matters. And the next night was it was in a way it was even more memorable. We drove out to Long Island, roller skating rink, good skates. And this would be the last time I saw a Jerry Garcia band on the East Coast until 1987. That was when they did the Lunfontaine run on Broadway, which was pretty amazing. But after this '84 run, they did some electric shows, Jerry Garcia Band in '85. '86 came around, was when they came back to the East Coast. They just did acoustic Jerry. So it's a long run without Jerry Garcia Band. For that's like 3 years. We had no idea. These days we were seeing them in all these little places, the Chance, the Roseland. It was an incredible. To be a Deadhead at this time. When Garcia, when the band was getting popular and peaking, and they could still play these places, is just incredible. So this is one of the last great shows I've seen in an intimate place. Good skates, East Sawtucket, Long Island, a little roller skating rink, smaller and hotter than the OCC show the night before. It was that hot, man. It had to be. I mean, it was 95 to 100 outside. In that arena, it had to be like 120. It was ridiculous. It was, and I don't want to come off like I'm Jack LaLanne or something, but I was a pretty good athlete at the time. Towards the end of the show, they're playing Dear Prudence, and I'm skipping around, doing my little thing. I wasn't a huge dancer. I was more of a shadow boxing, I would be skipping around, playing air guitar. I actually had to stop. I thought I was going to pass out. It was like that hot. Jerry wasn't stopping. That guy stood up there weighing well over 300 pounds, just jamming and going and going. It was incredible. It was just watching how he kept playing and his commitment to the music, mind-boggling at such heat. Those are great shows, definitely worth checking out. I probably have a few samples of that show at Good Skates. Very memorable night. He didn't take any shortcuts on that night. He played more songs than he did at Caldwell. So all the shows had more songs than Caldwell. Unfortunately, Caldwell got cut short. But what he did play at Caldwell is one of the most memorable sets of all time. Definitely worthy of this podcast. And once again, I want to mention that next week, my friend Doug Schmel, who was on the show, episode 2 from this year, he's coming back. We're going to talk about Bickershaw. This guy is a 1972 expert, loves that year so much. He has great insight and knowledge on that. So it's going to be an interesting conversation with Doug. We're going to be talking about one of the greatest shows of all time. I'm going to get back into some Grateful Dead on the right foot. Bickershaw 5772. And hey, everybody, thanks for listening. I appreciate you all. If you want to reach out to me, catfishgarcia82 at yahoo.com. We got the Deadology Facebook group page. You can reach out to me there. And my books are on tangledupintunes.com and also on Amazon. Until next week when we get back to some classic major Grateful Dead, peace out. And thanks for listening. Jerry Garcia Band Month in February.